Picture it. Grammar, reading comprehension, spelling, vocabulary, literature, and composition with one teacher manual? You mean I don't need all these workbooks? Tell me more. Learning Language Arts Through Literature, or LLATL, is a comprehensive ELA curriculum for grades 1 through 12. I'm Sara, a curriculum consultant for Rainbow Resource Center. Today we're looking specifically at grades 3 to 8. I'll show you the friendly components, engaging literature, and what a week of lessons might look like in your homeschool. Be sure to download the free handout in the description below. The program is Christian, but on the neutral side, with only select passages having religious content. Regular dictation and a focus on literature gives it a Charlotte Mason approach. Parent involvement is medium, since there are elements a student can complete on their own. It would appeal to a visual learner, and there are required resources, which are the 4 novels. Each level is identified by a color with the grade number discreetly on the back, making it a good option for struggling language arts students. And it's affordable. Each level includes a teacher guide, student workbook, and 4 novels to read. The teacher guide has 36 lessons, each with clear daily instruction, 1 lesson a week. You have the same page as your student, but with added content for presenting the grammar lessons and such. Answers and possible answers are right there in the margins. The teacher guides are friendly, not cluttered, and include review activities and assessments. Prep is minimal, and while you have daily work to complete, there is room to allow for your learner's pacing. The student book is consumable and formatted to correspond to the teacher guide. You see a daily assignment to complete. All work is in the context of what you're reading. If your child is reading Boxcar Children, for example, a grammar lesson will be connected to the story. Same with spelling and vocabulary. This content assigns meaning to these areas, which can often seem random to a student. Additional short stories, poems, and excerpts are printed directly in the student book. There are exercises a child can do on their own, but others will require parent guidance and feedback. The novels are classic literature, real books. The stories are your context for learning all areas of language arts. It's satisfying for a student to read a book from beginning to end. Let's talk about what it means to be a comprehensive ELA program. If you haven't seen Ruth's video, Building Language Arts, she talks about 8 elements. I want to show how LLATL incorporates these elements of language arts into their program. Click on the link below to see the full scope and sequence. You'll find this in the product description. Phonics and reading. While phonics is explicitly taught in grades 1 and 2, it's more related to vocabulary and spelling rules beginning in grade 3. Reading is thoroughly practiced in every level. Students have opportunities to read a variety of writing styles, building their reading fluency. They'll even recite poetry. Penmanship. Cursive begins in grade 3. Students will copy passages, respond to literature, and write their final drafts in their best handwriting. For spelling, students are encouraged to choose their own spelling words from the reading. There are weekly word lists provided as well. Students will copy words, learn how to study words, and gain helpful tips. Spelling rules for making plural and irregular forms are included. Vocabulary overlaps with their spelling lessons as students build compound words, learn prefixes and suffixes, and syllabication. But there will also be new vocabulary learned from the literature selections. Grammar, usage, and mechanics lessons are designed to help students with their writing tasks. You cover a wide range of skills in every level, all in the context of your current reading. These sentences become your grammar and punctuation lessons for the week. If there are homonyms, for example, that becomes a lesson. If there are proper nouns, that becomes a lesson. Diagramming is introduced in grade 7 as a skill, but outside of this, sentence parsing is not used. Composition. Students begin by copying literary passages and will write from dictation. However, they will learn to compose sentences, paragraphs, letters, journal entries, descriptive writing, summaries, and more. Reading comprehension. Book studies cover both comprehension and literary analysis using the novels selected for your grade level. You'll discuss content, parts of a story, characters, figurative language, vocabulary, main ideas, predicting outcome, compare, contrast, learn point of view, use analogies, arguments, sequencing events, research, and more. These will typically take 1 to 2 weeks. We said this was a comprehensive ELA, and that spells it out for you. Now let's explore what a typical week might look like. Book study weeks will look different, so this shows a typical lesson between novels. This one is from grade 4, which is the orange book. On Monday, read the short passage in your student book from The Tale of Annabelle Hedgehog. All work comes right from the passage, so no additional books are needed this week. Notice the words written in an unusual way. They're in all caps. Discuss the questions with your teacher about how writers convey expression. If any of you are concerned that as the teacher you won't know what the correct answers are, don't fret. All answers and suggested answers are provided in the teacher book margin for each lesson. Make a spelling list choosing 4 to 6 words from the passage. Copy your list of spelling words, paying special attention to the spelling tip shared. It's about double letters at the end of a word, and an exercise follows. On Tuesday, look at the first sentence in the last paragraph, noticing quotation marks. Read the rules about quotation placement and capitalization. Using a blue, red, green, and orange colored pencil, complete the exercises in your workbook, adding punctuation and capitalization. Copy that last paragraph into your workbook. Looking at another sentence, can you find the homonym? On Wednesday, when to use commas with quotations. Use your green colored pencil and complete the editing exercises in your workbook. Now, copy the sentences in your book, adding punctuation and capitalization. Notice in the passage when we do and do not capitalize words like aunt and uncle. Compose 2 sentences about family members using this new rule. With your colored pencils again, make corrections in the next exercise. Review your spelling words. On Thursday, reread the passage and answer a few questions in your workbook. Complete the exercise comparing sounds. Sometimes we add ER and EST, while other times we use more and most. Some words change completely in their comparative forms. Write out the positive, comparative, and superlative forms of the words shown. Take an oral or written spelling pretest. On Friday, write the last paragraph of the passage from dictation and check it against the original. Take the spelling test over the words you chose on Monday. Choose the review activities your student needs. There are 5 to choose from, covering quotations, capitalization, punctuation, homonyms, proper nouns, comparative, superlative, and a sentence to edit. They say to choose the review activities you need, but they're short, so do them all. Use the review as an assessment of your child's understanding. This particular week covered 11 pages in the student workbook and 9 pages in the teacher guide. Some weeks will center around a poem or a newspaper article. Book studies may take a week or more. LLATL gives you confidence knowing you're covering appropriate grade-level language arts skills. From this existing framework, you can add more spelling or grammar or handwriting as your student needs. You could even use an abridged version of a novel if your student would benefit from an easier version. This doesn't mean that you need to add anything at all. The framework is here. Use it as it is or adapt it to suit your learner. The integrated approach assigns meaning to your lessons. Grammar is taught with composition, not in isolation. Vocabulary and spelling come right out of the novel or text you're reading. Your student has already seen the words. Handwriting comes from passages you've read. The more connections, the better the retention. A link to our free handout summarizing learning language arts through literature, levels 3 through 8, is in the product description. And for a deeper dive, there'll be an additional video at each grade for you with content specific to that level. As always, our team of curriculum consultants is available to you free of charge. Bring us your questions by phone at 888-841-3456. Use our online chat at www.rainbowresource.com. We're here Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5 Central Time. Or send us an email at consultants@rainbowresource.com for a prompt reply.